It's time for the rundown. Tune in as Amelia and Lori amuse you with their guilty pleasures, share the unsung promo hero of the week, and help decipher all those impossible text acronyms.
Hello and welcome to episode 71 of The Rundown. I'm your host, Amelia Madl with Promo Corner, and joining me as always, the lovely and talented and beautiful Mrs. Lori Bolton-Herman of Totally Bamboo. I got all of your names in there this time.
You just left out my middle name, but we'll leave that for another episode.
Oh, yeah, we'll have to bust that out. I don't know if I know that one. Keep it a secret.
It's a long one. Yeah, keep it a secret.
Oh, okay, well, we have so much to talk about. I feel like it's been forever. Like, a lot of stuff has happened, and we have all this cool stuff to share. But before we get into that, we're going to give a shout out to our sponsor today is Coasterstone, the original absorbent stone coaster company celebrating 40 years in business. Their unique decorating process keeps coasters absorbent, but also clear messaging, which I love this. I'm having a hard time. So this is just like a house coaster, and I have this in the package. I also, you can tell this one is very well used because I've been scratching it up. Coasters can be used to tell a story, share a message, show appreciation, not just your logo. Car coasters are perfect for car washes, service centers, car dealerships, car detailers, dry cleaners, insurance companies, safety messages, and so much more. Think what do we want the driver to see when they are out in the car, but also serve a purpose to keeping the car holder clean. Full color decoration and no setup. And Lori, I know you have a set because we both got some. I have my car coasters in my car. Do you as well?
I have my two small ones in the Tesla.
Oh, yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
They also do cards, like a deck of cards. And I've been carrying these in my backpack when I travel if I know I'm going to have like downtime with friends, so that we have cards and little buttons.
Oh, so cute.
Ding, ding. Okay, check it out. Yeah. Tell David Glenn, our biggest fan. Hashtag #1 fan, David Glenn. Hello. So Lori, what's new? What's up? Where you been? What have you been doing?
Oh my gosh. I don't even know. Like, my list is so long. So I just celebrated a birthday. I'm holding it 35, as you all know. And I think we've talked about it. I'm just going to say it. I dated my college professor. This is obviously many years ago. And John Lambros. And we've remained friends. We usually chat a couple times a year. He always reaches out on my birthday, which he did. Like, he's so good about remembering my birthday. I suck. And he let me know that a song was going to hit all platforms, Spotify, Amazon Music, Pandora, a couple days after my birthday. And he said that the chorus was that it's about me, that I influenced the chorus. So anywho's, the song is called Until She Checked Out. The lyrics are pretty amazing. He's always been an incredible musician, playing in Greek bands and singing, just very talented. So I am, yes, it's Wandering Spirit is the album. And then the song is Until She Checked Out. Yes, Steve Herman knows about the song. He knows that I still talk to John a couple times a year, but super flattered. I have a feeling it's going to take off. It's very catchy, and it was written from the heart. So Yanni, when you see this episode, thank you for including me in your songwriting. I'm glad I could be an inspiration to lyrics, and you're amazing. So thanks.
Cool. I have the link up while you were talking, so if anybody wants to write it down, and we'll share it when this goes out. But yeah, so I listened to it. You sent me just a screenshot of it. I think you were in your car driving because it had like a little car traffic, and I was like, "What?" You're like, "Check this out." And I was like, "What am I checking out?" I don't. So I was Googling it, trying to figure it out. So I found the YouTube link. listened to it, but I'm gonna have to listen to it again now that I know it's about our lovely Mrs. Lori.
Yeah, so this is like, 30 plus years ago relationship. I was in very, very young, in my early 20s. And for the record, I did not get an A in his class. He gave me a B. Even though I felt like I deserved it, but I think just for principle, he's like, just because you're dating me, and he says that he didn't make a habit of dating his students. I don't know, but we had a great time together when we were together. I'm sorry?
I said, I hope he didn't make it a habit.
I know, exactly, right? Anyhow, it was, we had a fun time together. And again, my early 20s, and 30 plus years later, he breaks out this song. So yeah, it's pretty good. I know. It's crazy.
I have to follow that one.
I know. Let's see where this goes. I know, it's so crazy, but I mean, yeah, you'll just have to listen to the song and listen to the lyrics. It's pretty cool.
Okay, well, let's see. For me, nothing that life-shattering, earth-shattering, or exciting. But my, like, what I've been up to. So we had our team meeting recently, and we all went to Plymouth. Joel and Lori Moore live there, and our office is outside of Plymouth. So I was doing that recently. As you commented, I chopped 5 inches of my hair off the other day. I went for just a quick refresh, and what started as a little trim ended up being a full hack, which I love. It's super cute, but I can't get used to like not being able to have all this hair to grab. And when I go to put my ponytail up, I'm like, oh, it's a little ponytail. It's not like the long pony locks that I had. And then I wanted to show, so part of our meetings, like we do an annual meeting every year. We've got some really great places. We did local this year, which was still really fun because they are the best host, and I'll get into that in a little bit. But we also had some swag, so I wanted just to thank Cap America for helping me get these to everybody, and you will probably be seeing these in Vegas. And then Lori had asked us what we were looking for apparel, and I thought it was something that we were going to put together and do for Vegas. But she went and got everybody. She rolled out a rack at her house. Like she rolled out a clothing rack, and she had multiple shirts and jackets and everything for everybody in their size, all put together. So we got these really cute sweatshirts, and this is on the back, the little PC. And then flip it around. On the sleeve, we have these little 99 because we started in 1999. So this is just one of the pieces that I have. She got us Plymouth t-shirt and these really cool J. Charles like pullovers. So that's what I've been up to. That, and then just trying to like get home, get acclimated, get everything back to going with the kids. And for anyone that's still following, no, I still don't have a working oven. So.
Oh, I'm sorry, Amelia. It's so funny.
The oven are still on back order. So while I have it in the unit, it is not functional. But thank God our the second unit, since it's a 2-piece installation, the top piece that acts as a microwave is also a convection and will fit a full-size casserole dish. So I have been able to like bake lasagna, make casseroles, all that stuff. So I can do it. It's just not as convenient.
No, it's crazy. And I'm just so glad nobody got hurt, that it didn't like explode out. It looks like it stayed within itself, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's so bad. So I'm glad that everything's okay.
Okay, so we'll just, I mean, probably by the time it's fixed, it'll all have gone almost a year without a functioning oven, which is
crazy.
Insane. But moving on, let's get some health tips. I need something good. I feel like really sluggish lately.
Do you?
I don't know if that's true.
Because you're like traveling all over the place too. Like you're different time zones. You're traveling. You're back to school. So even though the kids go back to school, it's an adjustment for them. It's an adjustment for the parents too, I think. Like
you're making excuses for me, which I appreciate, but I haven't been traveling that much. Like you live on the road. I'm just like,
I don't know.
I'm just tired.
I do know.
So give me a tip, Lori. What am I going
to Okay. So 30, I'm giving you guys a little cheat sheet that Amelia will pop up here for us. So it's 30 grams of protein cheat sheet. And these are also good. And I can tell you right now that at least 2 things on here Amelia won't touch. She won't even come close to. The shrimp and the tuna for sure. She will stay away from.
Yes.
So protein is obviously super, super important. It's one of the foundational elements to our overall health. We need protein to function and for our metabolism to work and for energy, Amelia. So if you like hard-boiled eggs, I usually do my food prep on Sunday, especially if I'm going to be home. If not, I food prep on Friday for the weekends when I'm home. But those eggs, I love, 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 because you can make a little salad out of that. I also love the yogurt, mixing it with my homemade granola, adding some fresh berries. Black beans are always really good. And to put some like goat cheese or feta cheese on top with some sliced avocado, which I know you don't like as well. We need to come up with a recipe book for you, Amelia. And then
old picky lady.
Yeah. And then cottage cheese. So you can see how you can cocktail some of this stuff. Chicken on the cottage cheese. But these are all like really easy prep items that you can, have in your refrigerator and do. So usually when I'm home, I do cottage cheese. I actually do cottage cheese. They've got these canned tunas with some beans. I actually mix those 2 together, or I'll do cottage cheese with some sliced avocado. Put a little cayenne on there, and there's my protein. So super important. And while we're on the subject of protein, remember that when you are working out, that you want to consume protein, ideally before and ideally after. If you're an early morning workout person and can't have anything in your stomach before you work out, I get it. Then within 30 minutes, no longer than an hour, you need to consume some protein into your body. So all the hard work that you just did at the gym is being what's the word I'm looking for? Being acknowledged. Like your body needs the protein to keep functioning.
Yeah, it helps the muscles recover.
Helps the muscles. Yeah, and then your body is not pulling from storage. It's actually you're fueling it. So you can think of it in many ways. A car, putting gasoline in it needs fuel. So protein after your workout, ideally before and after, but can't always do it.
Okay. Well, I have been a slacker, so I have been doing my Pilates. Obviously, while I was gone, we were going nonstop, so I did not get a workout in. And since I've been back, I've only done it like twice because I've been running around with tennis matches for my kids and meetings, and it's just been what it is. So, but going into that with my mom I did something. I don't know where's my. Can't see the thing. So for my mom again, this episode is all about shenanigans and things I did in Plymouth at our team meeting. So my mom I have had this design for a while, and I've showed it to many people of my kids' initials, and I was like, I want to do something. I'd love to tattoo it. So, when I was in Vegas, I got my nose pierced because why the hell not? So when I was in Plymouth, I was like, I'd like to get a tattoo. Coincidence, we were going to dinner one night, happened to be a tattoo parlor right next door. So we walk in. I'm like, let's see if they can fit me in. I'm here for 3 days. They couldn't do it. They worked the schedule. And I was like, oh, bummer. I live out of town. I'll find some place local. And he's like, how about write this right now? How about you do it right now? And I was like, okay, sure. So Lori Moore, my Lori was with me. Everyone else was next door eating dinner. I'm like, I'll go get cash. She's like, I'll go tell everybody. So they basically I went and got a tattoo. So this is me right afterwards.
Love it.
And then this is the design a little closer. So it's my kid. Everyone's like, what is it? It's my kid's name. So this is the inspiration, the artwork. So it's Adeline, all the letters that make her name, and Maddox, all the letters that make his name, in a really cool, unique design. So nobody else will ever have that same tattoo.
I love it, Amelia. I love it. So why isn't the heart in the middle?
I didn't want to do the heart because I felt like the heart was like the people that I had designed it. I feel like it was supposed to be like if you were doing a couple, like if I did me and my husband, and you do a heart. But since it's my kids, I was like, I thought it looks a little odd. So yeah, so that was my mom did, and then I didn't tell my family I did it until 24 hours later. If you remember the shock that my husband had when I did my nose, which this side when I did my nose, he was less than pleased and didn't speak to me for a few days. I waited and told him via text that I did this while he had left to go to a wedding of a coworker. So I knew he had already gotten on the destination, was in a car with a coworker, and so he couldn't like blow up. And if he got to vent, he could do it to them, and they could like talk him down and be like, "Come on, it's not a big deal." So I went that route, and then I knew he'd be having a good time and drinking. So all was good. I only got a little bit of help for it. My daughter said, "If you like it, then that's cool." My son's like, "I don't like it," and my husband's like, "What is it?" So yeah, that's me.
I love it, Amelia. I love it. It's you, and you know what? It's the kids. And you had been talking about this for a while, and very thoughtful on how the kids' initials are all in that design. So I think it's really cool.
Yeah. So I guess I'll have to prepare them and be like, I don't know what'll happen in Vegas this year.
Exactly. Because
I don't know what else I can do. I mean, I can do a lot, but yeah. So
I know we have to think about what shenanigans we're going to get into.
I don't finding. So speaking of shenanigans and craziness, this kind of segues into the unsung promo hero. So I am nominating, or I want to give a shout out to the bestest of the best, Joel and Lori Moore. So Joel and Lori, for anyone that Joel kind of takes a back seat, but Joel and Lori own Promo Corner, and they also live in Plymouth. So they had all of our team come in. Several people live there, so they stayed in their house, but me and 3 other girls do not live like right in that little neighborhood, obviously. So they rented us a house, a little Airbnb. So we stayed there, and then they would pick us up and drive us, and we did all kinds of things. So I did this little video just to kind of showcase some of the shenanigans and stuff that we did. So I'm going to show it, and then I'll talk about it.
So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do karaoke in Vegas.
So those are just some of the shenanigans. So Lori is, for anyone that doesn't know, she used to be a school teacher. So when it comes to like planning, like the thoughtfulness, like she had all of our little wardrobes ready for us, and she brought in things to learn about America's hometown in Plymouth. So you can see she picked, her and Joel picked Jess and I up, Jessica Onions up from the airport. And when we came out of the doors, Lori had the phone and was recording us. And I don't know if you could hear me, but I was like, "Hi, Mom." And Lori and Joel are in the background, and they're like, "The kids are home. Hey, the kids are back." It was like they're welcoming us back from college or something. So that's like how we are. We're like kind of a family. And then, so we went to the Plymouth Flatucks, which is formerly the Plymouth Plantation, but I guess you can't say plantation anymore. So we like toured this old area, and it showed like when pilgrims came over and Indians and how they lived. You could see we did candle making. We went to this house where we literally had sticks and wicks, and they showed us how they would make candles in the old days. We had dinners. We went and did photo shoots. So everybody got headshots, and then at the end, you could see Lori and Joel together. But we did like family photos with all of us. I'm not going to spoil that because we'll be releasing those. And then I don't know if you caught some of our Circus Olay moves. With me in the yellow shirt, I was like, well, I've been working out, so I'm pretty strong here. So I was like, so we have so many videos. I couldn't show them because they're way too embarrassing, and these were after drinks. But basically, I'm like airplaning everybody and lifting everybody and doing all these crazy things. And then Lori and Joel hosted a dinner the last night, and all of our stuff was there. And Joel's brother Michael and his wife that own Bay State, they own it together, and some other people. So we had dinner, and then we busted out karaoke. And I didn't want to embarrass anybody else, so I just showed my clip. But me and Hallie and Maddie were singing all night. I hope nobody lost their hearing because of how we sounded, but those are the things that we do when we get together. It's like a dysfunctioning, loving family reunion.
I love it. I love it. It looks so like you guys have so much fun. She always does such a good job, like pulling such a good job.
Yes, the level of detail that she puts into planning is above par, and they're just so welcoming. I was there all day Friday because there was only 2 direct flights, and I had to take the late one. And literally, the next thing I'm hanging around doing stuff, and the next thing I know, I'm like laying down on their couch like it's mine. And I was like, just so you know, this says a lot about you and how comfortable you make us, because I'm at your house the second time in my life. And I'm literally laying on your couch like I live here. And they're like, oh, you can go upstairs and take a nap. Like all the girls are away at college. They're like, the bed's ready. If you want to go upstairs and relax and like take a little rest. And they're just so inviting and welcoming. And it's amazing and unheard of in like the
so nice
owners, employees. So thanks, guys.
So fun.
Before I get them all red faced from like loving on them. Guilty pleasures. What you got, Lori?
So I watched twice. So I had 4 flights this week, if you can believe it. So have you heard of the movie Love Again? It's got
yes.
Yeah, so it's got Priyanka Chopra Jonas, that's a mouthful. Sam Hugan, Nick Jonas, and Celine Dion. So I started watching it on one of my legs this week, and the flight wasn't long enough, so I couldn't finish it. So last night, I watched it again, and it's so good. I like those juicy kind of movies. I shouldn't say juicy. It's those sappy kind of movies. And since I've been having Celine Dion playing in the background, when's the last time you put on Celine Dion, like greatest hits, and just let it go? I could forget how good she is, but it's a good movie. It's not long. Really good. And it just tied in her personal life. I thought it was really good. And I like movies like that. Like there is love after tragedy. So
yes, and which is the basis. We don't want to spoil
no, but it's good, you guys. If you're on a flight, super easy to watch.
It's under 2 hours, maybe an hour 30, hour 40. It is really the funniest thing to me, which will not spoil anything, but Joe Jonas, Priyanka's husband, in it, and his character is not the love interest, but they are literally making fun of him. Like he plays the meathead, like muscle guy. Like it's so funny. So I have to imagine that as a husband and wife doing that would just have been a blast. But
so fun, right? And there's definitely some like make out scenes like throughout the whole movie. And I heard recently that when you're kissing on screen, like there's no tongue that's used. Like they may look like it, but that's like crossing the line. So I was trying to capture if her and Nick actually like got a little bit more romantic because they're husband and wife. But that was a very funny part because they start at his feet and scroll up, and he's wearing these like suede shoes, Amelia, with no socks. Like I just thought it was super funny. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. You gotta watch it. It's on Netflix. Really good. Really cute.
Yes. So good.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I know you're a fan of. I know you're a fan of this, and I am actually kind of embarrassed to admit this, but I have already watched the entire season of Virgin River. The new one that just dropped. Like, okay, good. It's like I'm such a loser.
I've actually watched.
So yeah, Ooh, see, you do have time to watch TV. I've been watching it at night, like when I'm trying to just relax. There's nothing on TV. So, and the next season will come out. I think they did in November. So I think what they did was they filmed the whole season, but they kind of split it. So I've already watched. There was 10 episodes, which sounds like a lot. So I've already watched that. I don't want to say anything because if you watched it last season, a lot happens, and I don't want to spoil anything. So I watched that. And if that's a little too cheesy, because it is kind of soap opera-esque. The other new show that I've been watching, but I have to watch it in segments because they only slow release, is their season 3 of The Morning Show. And that has Reese Witherspoon and Jennifer Aniston in it. And it's the news outlet. It's really good. And Billy Crudup, I think is his name. He's in it. It's really good. I've been waiting forever for that to come out, so I've been slowly watching that.
Watching it. I'll add that. Mm-hmm. I'll add that to my list. But yes, Virgin River, love, love, love. We've been talking about it. It's the 5th, and I think it got renewed, Amelia, for a 6th season. This is 5.
Yeah, well, the next season. Yeah, so at the very end, the last episode of this season, it gives kind of a preview of what's to come. And I can't say because if you haven't watched it.
It's so good. It's so good.
Yeah. So if you need something lighthearted and good, there you go. Now you got it.
Yeah. Sweet.
Okay. So I don't think I mentioned this in the beginning, but this is Friday the 13th that this drops, which ooh.
I love it.
But are you a superstitious person, Lori?
No.
No,
I'm not. Are you?
Okay. Mm-hmm. No.
I try to put stuff around me and things in place to block bad energy, bad people 24/7.
You just have candles burning and
candles and yeah, and I am super sensitive. I feel like I'm super sensitive to like just bad people, bad energy, and I just try to stay clear of those people. So no, I'm gonna go on record and say no, Amelia. I'm not superstitious.
Okay.
Try to keep it all away.
I pulled up a couple of like the most common superstitions, or at least so the internet says. I had not heard of some of them. What are some superstitions you've heard? And I'm betting they're on this list, and then I'll give you a few others that you might not have heard of.
Okay, so superstition, you can't break a mirror. You'll have bad luck, I think, for the rest of your life or something like that.
7 years of bad luck if you break a mirror.
7 years. Okay. So glass, you can't walk in front of a black cat.
Yes. Yes. Or you can't have a black cat cross in front of you.
Okay. You can't walk underneath a ladder.
Yes. Which, I mean, if you've ever picked up a ladder, sometimes you need to get underneath of it to kind of hoist it. We'll get to that point.
The other one that I heard, does it have something to do with like a wishbone if it doesn't break like perfectly?
Oh,
or is that
no, I've always heard. Yeah, we always do. If you split the wishbone, whoever gets the chunk of it, their wish comes true. I've never heard it like be scary.
I don't know what else.
Okay, well, those are all good ones. So
here,
this one I had never heard of, but thank God I cut my hair before this. So one of the superstitions is if you cut your hair on Friday the 13th, someone in your family will die. Have you ever heard that?
No, I haven't heard that, and that's absurd.
Yeah, and thank God I already cut my hair. Here's another one. I don't understand how they're going to put death with these, but if a funeral procession passes in front of you on Friday the 13th, you will die next. No, I think that's just misfortune that you get stuck in traffic. Do not start a trip on Friday or you will encounter misfortune.
I have flown on Friday the 13th before. I know I have. And I mean, again, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Do I believe in karma? Yes. But do I believe in two different things? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. If a child, I hope no one has a Friday the 13th birthday. A child born on Friday the 13th will be unlucky for life. Here's one that I think we should all do. Airline tickets are supposedly cheaper on Friday the 13th. I don't know if they mean like if you pre-bought it, if you actually purchased the ticket on that day, or if you purchased the ticket to travel that day. You should check that out.
That's
and then the last one I have, it's unlucky to have 13 people sitting at a dining table or a dinner table. Haven't they ever heard of a dozen? Isn't 13 a baker's dozen? What, you can't have 13 friends?
Right. And it should always be odd. Remember, Amelia, it should always be odd. So 13 is perfect.
Bring an animal or a person to like counter that.
I love it. No, I don't. Do you believe in the superstitious stuff? No. I don't either. There are people that were like, there's a black cat, I need to go the other way, or oh my gosh, I broke. Like, I just don't. I don't.
No, I don't have time to let that take space in my brain. I got too many things going.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh. Well, Lori, it was so fun to catch up with you today, and I'm glad we had all these fun little like videos and clips to share. I have one more image to show. So while we're wrapping up, so again, thank you, Coasterstone. Please go check out Coasterstone promo to learn more. Say hi to David Glenn. Hi, David. Comment with your guilty pleasures. Give us your recent binge watches, and don't forget to nominate your unsung hero, because you know what you get when you nominate an unsung hero. What do you get?
A limit?
You get a T-shirt. And the one and only David Shin here, not to be confused with David Shin, which is super confusing when you're hanging out with both.
Yes.
David Shin here was at the other night and took a little selfie there and tagged us. So that's what you get, man. Look how cool he looks at the gym. You'll even get the big muscles. If you put it on, your muscles will grow to look like David. So
that's what I told him. I'm like, oh my gosh, you look so strong. I'm like, do I need to give you a bigger size? But he's proudly sporting our shirt. And Amelia, I have to tell you, like, I get pictures from guys. There's a handful of girls that have our shirts, but they love wearing our shirts. We need to get them all together. Maybe in Vegas, we have it where they need to wear their shirts on day one or whatever.
You can only get in if you have a shirt. Yeah, I don't ask David if he needs a bigger shirt to accommodate his muscles. What's going to happen is his head's going to be so big it won't fit in the shirt because his head's going to get too big.
I love it.
Yeah,
it was
nominated. And I am working on a new design for 2024. So just saying, folks, get your videos ready and you get a new shirt. And tune in again Friday, October 27th. Woo! End of the year coming.
End of the year's here.
All right, we'll see you next. No. Bye.